Are there any processes you put in place to kind of like save that sale or basically convince them not to cancel?
Yeah, absolutely. So a member has to, at least according to our agreement, a member has to give us at least 30 days written notice, and they also have to call us and talk to us. So during that contact, when somebody like raises their hand and says either, verbally or in writing, I would like to cancel my membership, please, we reach out to them and we start talking to them. We got to find out, like, what's the real reason you want to cancel, right? Because, like, sure, maybe what they said right off the bat, it may just be what it is on its face. Maybe they're moving, right? Like, very little you can do about that. But if it's something where, like, maybe things are just like tight for a month or two and they want to cancel because they don't know that there are other options or something like that, then we say, something along those lines like, hey, like, we could totally like freeze or pause your membership and have it restart in 2 months when you're through whatever, you're going through. Or, we talk to them and maybe we find out like, hey, like, maybe they just, they didn't necessarily maybe have the best day or something when they were coming in for their last appointment. So something rubbed them wrong and maybe they're a little butthurt about something that otherwise they wouldn't be. So that gives us an opportunity to kind of like massage the situation and make it up to them and be like, oh no, you were just having a bad day. Maybe the provider was a little brisk that day or whatever. Like, come on in and let's like talk it out, or let's hook you up with a complimentary sunscreen, or whatever it is. And then suddenly they're not mad anymore and they're not canceling. Or maybe they just, after they get a chance to talk it out, they go like, oh yeah, this membership has so much value, I didn't like really want to cancel anyway. Like, I just wanted to be heard.
Absolutely. I think that that's a really great point, is that they, many times people feel like they don't, especially with memberships or ongoing, subscriptions, they may not be using them themselves. And then when they see this, like, oh, well, I'm getting billed every month, they feel like there's like some kind of disconnect. How might you handle someone who calls up, says, hey, I want to cancel my membership, I haven't really been using it? Do you try to talk to them about, down the reason why and say, hey, we can pause it, or, thank you for, do you have a clause where it's like, hey, once you're a member and you leave, you can't be a member again? Is there anything you do to kind of maintain that?
Yeah, so I mean, again, we totally do offer the ability to pause for up to 90 days. Past that doesn't really make sense. We start, regardless of like whatever the front-facing reason for why they cancel is, we try to do a little bit of digging deeper to find out the why behind the why. And, because generally speaking, like if somebody becomes a Botox user, they're a Botox user for life. Or until they decide they're ready to start looking old, whenever that might be. And if they're not using it, it's not that like suddenly they're not interested in Botox anymore and they suddenly are fine, okay, looking old. It means that's just something that they're throwing up in front, so they don't have to talk about whatever the real thing is that might be a little bit more uncomfortable to talk about. So you kind of have to get past that and be like, well, like, what's your real why? Like, is it financial? Is it a time commitment thing? Is it something else? Because we know it's not that you don't want your Botox anymore. So, like, what's up?
That was a great point. I was just thinking, with regards to your membership, for example, I know a lot of people, when they come to find out about your med spa, that basically then they approach you, and then do you essentially offer the membership on their first approach, or do you wait till maybe they've come in and then offer membership then? Is there anything to do with timing and membership?
No, the only thing I'll say is that the faster you get them into a membership, the better for you and the better for them. So when we're running campaigns with membership as the forward-facing front offer, that's what we sell them directly over the phone, is right into the membership before they ever even step foot into the med spa. Now, our biggest problem as a business tends to be throughput capacity, meaning that like our providers are just so booked out that there's nowhere to put new patients. And When that is happening, which is most of the time, we don't actually run ads, which means that we're not doing sales calls per se. And we do get some amounts of people that are just call-in, walk-in people, and they just pay for an initial consult and come in. And at that consult, we educate them on and sell them into the membership. And that's about the only time when we're not actively selling the membership as a point of entry over the phone.